Hey, what's up, folks? Today we are going through the exciting September 2022 release of tyGraph Pages and kind of a suite of tools that's growing underneath it. So it's a really exciting month for us at tyGraph, and I've got two other folks today who will be going through some new experiences that we have prepared for you. That's Norm and Maya. Norm has got a lot of really exciting news, which we can see here, tyGraph for Atlas. Norm, do you want to kind of introduce this product, which is launched this month?
Thanks, Will. Happy to share the good news that we are taking our existing tyGraph for Pages product and custom tailoring it to meet the needs of Clear People Atlas customers. And what this report solution will do is help you understand the effectiveness of the investments that you made in Atlas. You'll understand the adoption. You'll understand how the content is being engaged with across your tenant. We will also look at knowledge and other areas to know how the organization is trending with its ability to create Atlas-based content across the org. Finally, we will get into some key performance indicators around how the content is being utilized through metadata analysis, through page scroll percentages, verified readership, and many more, all with the context of location, date scale, and also organizational information. It's important to note that it is based on tyGraph Pages, so the file story is not here today, but it is coming. We are actively working on this part of the solution. We have a number of knowledge-based solutions, articles that will help you understand how to use the tyGraph for Atlas report, some accompanying YouTube videos that we will include in the recording notes. And finally, looking forward, we expect to have some webinar-based events with our partners at Clear People to make sure that you have access to the solution and how to best use it and continue to get the most out of your investment that you're making with Atlas.
That's awesome. And even for customers who have tyGraph Pages already installed right now today, they can access this from Power BI, I believe, right now. Is that correct?
That is correct. We successfully launched a new entry into Power BI App Source, and you can simply look for tyGraph for Atlas, and that solution will be available for you to install.
That's awesome. All right, what a cool story when it comes to the tyGraph for Atlas product. Next up, for the tyGraph Pages suite, there's also just some core logic that's been improved upon and some other things that we've deployed with this release that not only affects now, it's kind of neat, the tyGraph Pages product, but also tyGraph for Atlas benefits from this as well. So moving on, we've got Maya here today. We're going to talk about a new feature that was added to improve hub mapping logic. Maya, do you kind of want to walk us through what it looked like before and what our users can expect from the new logic inside hub mapping?
Sure. Well, hi, everybody. So our hub mapping used to essentially map the hubs to a site and down to a page at a point in time. And you would sometimes see the same site show up under various hubs in case you've changed hub mapping over the time period you've selected. So it was a little bit confusing for our customers that you would see the same site show up under two different hubs or unassociated section there. So the improvement there was to essentially grab the most recent hub mapping across all sites and apply it accordingly, rather than depending on the point in time that you're looking at.
Right. That's really cool. And so this change takes effect when? It's essentially whenever the customer installs the latest version of tyGraph Pages?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So if you're following along and you're like, hey, I don't know if I've got the new or the old hub mapping and this feature that we've added here, the best way you can check, as always, is through this package button at the top. We can see here we're running the September 22 release. So as long as you have this at the top, you can be sure that we'll be using that logic instead to be able to to be able to conduct the hub and site mapping that we see. And the best place to kind of view it is here in the Content Navigator. But Maya, that applies everywhere, right?
Yes, it applies across the entire Pages product as well as Atlas, as you mentioned.
That's awesome. Well, next up, let's talk about some other improvements that you had made to the demo data as well. This is pretty exciting, especially for those of us, those who haven't yet perhaps purchased tyGraph Pages or tyGraph for Atlas for that matter. A lot of people, you can actually go to the Power BI App Store even today as you're watching and install this tool. It's a great way to be able to check out what the capabilities are of these tools and kind of imagine what it would be like without even needing your organization's data. But without some demo data, it was difficult for people to do that. We had added some new features in the last release on the search and metadata side of the house. But Maya, it sounds like we've got demo data here, and it's exciting to see the kind of stories that we'll be able to tell now, or at least sort of visualize if you want to get a feel for how these various visuals and pages interact with each other. The same thing goes for metadata engagement. So for those of you who are really excited about what metadata engagement could look like, there are some companies, and Norm, I'm sure you've encountered this as well, where they may not have the same adoption of tags as we may see in other areas. And so this gives you a chance to see what that could look like and kind of a common scenario that we might see at other companies where they might use tags, for example, metadata to organize legal pages, for example, and see how that experience would look in tyGraph Pages.
Yeah, very true. And it's some of us are used to looking at content by a site, a page, but sometimes the subject matter will traverse different or a series of pages. And so using something like a metadata term store, it can be applied across multiple items, pages, even files and sites and so on. And so it helps to give an organization more insight into the knowledge management areas that they're investing in. So quantifying by a tag like financial services, and in this case, it's at the page level.
Right.
Captures a lot of where that information is being called out, and it allows the organizations to understand the reach, I guess, or even the engagement of that content that they're creating for those tags. And there's more uses of the metadata term store downstream and other implications to syntax and the different Viva platforms inside of SharePoint that all speak to the knowledge management story. So happy to see that this is inside of the tyGraph Pages report now.
Awesome. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. So definitely go and check it out if you haven't had the chance yet. Anyone who's not familiar with the metadata or search activity pages, we've got some demo data to help you visualize that experience. Finally, there is one awesome feature that we were able to make into the September 2022 release, which was an all-new accessible theme. Some of you following along might be looking at the update being like, hey, this looks a lot different. This isn't quite what I remember tyGraph exactly looking like. Hopefully the reaction was positive and you're like, this looks a lot better. And the reason for this is that we have moved to a new theme and layout. And as the name says, this new layout is now WCAG AA compliant. So we hope that not only this makes things easier to read, but that the new layout is more supportive of people with a wide range of visual experiences, right? So this includes things like not just some new layouts and rounding the edges, but also having darker fonts, larger text, better color contrast, and of course, support for Mac devices. So we just hope that as you view these reports as well, that you find that it's a much easier experience on your eyes and that it's something that's more accessible for people at all visual abilities. All right, well, that's the tyGraph September 2022 update for tyGraph Pages, and of course now tyGraph for Atlas. Thanks so much for your interest in the tool, and we look forward to future updates that are planned on our roadmap. Thanks so much.